Chapter 3088 begins by describing the arrangement of Matriarch Perel's grandchildren. All of her grandchildren, except for the youngest two, are enrolled in boarding schools, returning home only on weekends. The youngest grandchildren, who are in kindergarten, live primarily with their maternal grandparents, since the kindergarten is located near their grandmother's home. This arrangement emphasizes the detachment that exists between Matriarch Farrell and her grandchildren, as she plays a more financial role in their lives rather than being directly involved in their upbringing. She regularly sends money to her in laws to cover the living expenses of her youngest grandchildren, a gesture that further highlights the transactional nature of many of their relationships within the Farrell family. When Matriarch Farrell's butler reminds her that it's time for dinner, she declines, citing a lack of appetite. Her melancholy is palpable as she reflects on the absence of her husband and children and her growing dissatisfaction with the state of her family. The matriarch's isolation and detachment are evident. Even though she is surrounded by wealth and status, she feels alone in her own home. The chapter subtly portrays her deep disappointment and frustration, both with her family's behavior and with her own inability to control the direction of the family's future. Catherine's return to the Farrell mansion provides a stark contrast to Matriarch Farrell's somber mood. Mr. Fraser drives her back after a day of fun at an indoor playground. Catherine's time at the playground reveals her longing for a childhood she never had. She confides in Mr. Fraser about the neglect she suffered at the hands of her adoptive parents, who would take their biological son on outings while leaving her behind. Now, as an adult, she seeks to reclaim those lost experiences, indulging in simple pleasures like playing at a playground, buying cotton candy, and enjoying candied hoss, treats typically enjoyed by children. This aspect of her character serves to humanize her, offering a glimpse into the emotional scars she carries from her difficult upbringing. Despite her outward success and position within the family, her desire to relive the childhood she missed speaks to the deep seated feelings of inadequacy and exclusion that she still harbors. Her relationship with Mr. Fraser is also characterized by a playful and supportive dynamic, with Catherine teasing him about his eating habits and offering him more money while he politely declines, insisting that he's content with a simple meal at night. Upon her return to the mansion, she is met with an empty hall. Despite the lights being on, the house feels eerily quiet, underscoring the isolation that pervades the Farrell household. The matriarch's car is in the driveway, indicating that she's home, but her absence from the common areas suggests that she has withdrawn, likely reflecting on the growing tension within the family. Catherine, seemingly unfazed by this, sits down on the sofa and begins to enjoy her marshmallow, a scene that further emphasizes her childlike tendencies and her desire to embrace the joy she was denied as a child. The butler enters, and seeing Catherine devouring the oversized marshmallow, can't help but smile at the sight. His reaction, though subtle, adds a touch of levity to the chapter, juxtaposing the heavy atmosphere surrounding Matriarch Farrell with the light-heartedness of Catherine's actions. The butler's amusement at her behavior highlights her unique position within the family, while Matriarch Farrell remains consumed by her frustrations and the crumbling family dynamics. Catherine seems to find solace in simple pleasures, reclaiming her lost childhood through small acts of joy.